biased, boring, bad. These are some of the negative B words that 84% of teens use to describe today's media in a new survey by the News Literacy Project. The survey documented teens aged 13 to 18's negative attitude about the news. Other words the group used to describe the media were crazy, boring, fake, depressing, or scary.
Around half of teens also believe that journalists pay sources or do favors for them, either always, almost always, or often. The teens also think that reporters make up things like quotes and give special treatment to advertisers. Roughly 60% of teens say that journos take videos or photos out of context. And strangely, only around 1/3 of the surveyed teens believe journalists follow basic tenets of the craft, like confirming facts before reporting them or correcting errors.
This sobering survey rings alarm bells about the younger generation whose minds are very much still forming. Kat Murphy, an aspiring journalist and college student, told the AP there's very little movement in the direction of going to where people are, as opposed to expecting them to come to where you are. The only way to turn it around is going to be to switch to doing things that captivate people today, as opposed to captivating people 20 years ago. Harsh.
Very
harsh stuff.
They obviously haven't been watching Rising enough,
No,
Robby. That's clearly
we check our facts. We are unbiased. We give it to you from both directions, as it were. That came out totally wrong. I'm so sorry.
Well, good for that.
Anyway.
Holidays. Anyway.
Yes.
So, young people's views of media.
Which we care about so much.
We do. We're
the
passionate.
13 to 18-year-olds.
That's our demographic.
Yeah, that's we're desperate for their approval.
Yes. I mean, look, the fact that people of that age find the media boring is not particularly surprising to me. I think if you're in the middle of adolescence, you're probably not tuning into much news media in the traditional sense, at least, very much at all. Now, are they trusting kind of TikTok news people? That would be one of my curiosities about this. Well, is it about the package, the medium, or the message?
I doubt that 13 to 18-year-olds are less informed today about politics and news and world events and things going on today, current events. There's no way they're less informed. They're inarguably. I can't prove. I have to point. I don't have a study I can point to, but they have to be encountering casually more current events programming because of social media than ever before. It used to be when I was of that age, the Channel 1 program. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not, but tell me.
Yeah, they did like a pre-taped half an hour of news that would play in the morning so that we'd be up to date on a small number of stories. Actually, some of the people involved in that did become... Maria Menounos got her start on Channel 1. She's a big entertainment reporter.
When I was like a very small kid, there was a very long-running show on BBC called Newsround, and it was a news bulletin for kids, but it was legitimately a legitimate journalism.
We'd have Time for Kids distributed in my 5th grade class every now and then. Oh, Y2K sounds very scary, that kind of thing. Now they're consuming news content inadvertently all the time on Reels, on social media. That's a good thing.
It is.
And that is news. And that's
well, it is if it's actually news, as opposed to just somebody pontificating about what their opinion is about the news. Not that we're necessarily against opinion journalism here, of course, but it's just that, yes, there has obviously been a breakdown of traditional news and the authority of traditional news, and that's never coming back, and we've spoken about that before. But is it going to be replaced by actual news that is packaged in a way that is compelling to younger audiences? Or is it just going to be supplanted by a sort of virtual water cooler where it's just people shooting their mouths off all the time?
Right.
That's the problem, I think.
That is the problem.
We don't want that.
People do have some misconceptions about how, we're traditional journalists in that what we're doing is non-traditional, but we work from The Hill, which has a corporate ownership, which is a traditional media company, which does have rigorous standards, to be clear. We do not give our opinions in exchange for money from a specific person. Of course, advertising is part of it, but there's an editorial wall between advertisers and us. What the advertisers do not have any say over what we and that is actually, even though I think our viewers can tell, I'm very favorable to influencers and the new media trends, there is more danger among the people who are not part of establishment media being captured by an advertiser, or really just more likely their audience, knowing exactly what the people want to hear and thus saying.
Yeah, I do think that audience capture.
Yeah, that's you guys, not us.
That audience capture thing is a real problem.
That's the big phenomenon. It's not that, like, you know, whatever.
No.
I don't know. British Petroleum is going to come in, take out ads, and we're going to start saying, "Oh, have you eased gas regulations today?" I would say that anyway.
Naturally, but it's about serving the thing to people because you're just catering to what people want to hear, which itself is not really news. Now, do recent trends spell trouble for the GOP in the midterms? We have a guest to talk about that next. Stick around to see what he has to say.